is right. Behind the bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, here on this Friday, February 6th, live from downtown San Francisco. Final day of Radio Row here for us, ESPN Fresno, the Central Valley sports leader. Still here, hanging around. They're breaking down some of the sets, so we're starting to feel the end of the week here as we got a couple hours today before we switch it over to 790. You can listen to FPU baseball there starting at 5 o'clock. What a week it's been. It's been fantastic, and we're excited to bring you 2 hours of football talk and other conversation as well on the show today. Let's run through the guest list. Of course, we got some really interesting, fun guests today on the show in this jam-packed 2 hours. Robert Gallery here for the Athletes for Care Foundation and the DAV Foundation as well. BJ Gann, who's a wounded warrior, is joining us on the show. They'll be joining us soon, about 10 minutes or so. Then we have Sean Merriman joining us this hour as well, former Charger. He's into the MMA stuff as well. We talked to him about his career and everything that was going on with him. Later in the show, in the 4 o'clock hour, Tony Khan from AEW. Yeah, we're going to talk to him on the show live at 4:15. And we'll see who else kind of trickles in here as well. Maybe we do our favorite interview of the week as well. But we're going to get you set for Super Bowl 61 final show for us before we send it off to the weekend and get us ready for what should be an awesome final football game of the year. Yeah, that's right. That's it. Super Bowl 60. Here we go. Thanks to Tony D for tossing it to us in the previous hour. Tony D Show Sportsline Bulldog Hour. Tony D from 2 to 3 p.m. We also have our stream going right now on 1430 ESPNFresno.com website. You can listen to us live and on demand there. You can also listen to us on the ESPN Fresno app. We're also streaming live on the YouTube page as well, ESPN Fresno. I hope you've been going there because it's been fun posting all those interviews we've had. You can have them on demand right there for Radio Row. Plenty of people we've talked to this week. Joe's been posting them over and over throughout the day. So if you want to catch up and see where we've talked to this weekend, that is certainly the place for you. Let's get into some of the conversation. And of course, you can be a part of the conversation with the Lee's Air Hotline, sponsored by Lee's Air Plumbing, Heating, and Roofing. Lee's Air Hotline is 559-320-1430, the way to reach our show. 559-320-1430, the way to get a hold of us here on the airwaves. So, it's been a whirlwind of a week. Of course, last night we had the NFL honors last night, the Hall of Fame announcement. And, of course, some folks in the Central Valley, fans of the 49ers, Roger Craig finally getting into the Hall of Fame. So that's got to be a thrill for a lot of Niner fans who are listening. I'm sure a lot of people thrilled and happy for that. But also awards announced last night. And to call this a top sports story, brought to you by Valley Pure, which is Matthew Stafford by a hair wins the NFL MVP award. He had just one more first place vote than Drake May did in what is considered one of the tighter MVP races we have seen. So congrats to Matthew Stafford. And my gut tells me that feels like the right choice when it's all said and done. And as good as Drake May has been this season, the Stafford argument has always been what his body of work and what his ability has been to lift the guys in the locker room around him as well. And I think his ability showcases an ability to acquire the players on the roster that they've had, including adding Davante Adams. I don't believe if Stafford is there, Davante Adams is there as well on the Rams. There's a multitude of factors, but I do feel like that it is certainly a factor when it comes to that. Your worth, your value, what your value is. And Stafford drew people in, as opposed to Drake May, who, down the road, he will draw people into this roster. And yes, he made this roster good. and fantastic. The level of play that Stafford played is just a considerable little bit edge more, and so I think that's an interesting argument. You could go either way. You really could. I was on the fence about it. I do believe Stafford is the right choice this year, and who knows how many more opportunities he was going to have to win the award. So on a human level, you feel great about Matthew Stafford winning the NFL MVP and representing that for the Rams. He is the first MVP, I believe, for the Rams since we had Kurt Warner, I believe, in terms of it. I may be mistaken in that, but I feel like that is the correct stat there. He is the oldest player in sports, other than two other guys in all of sports, to win his first MVP. At an age of 37 years and 331 days. Only Dennis Eckersley won his first MVP at 38 years old, and Willie Stargell won his first MVP at 39 years and 208 days. In all the sports. So, Matthew Stafford, the third oldest player ever in National Football League history to win an MVP. Aaron Rodgers in 21 won it at 38 years old and 38 days. Tom Brady won it at 40 and 150 days in 2017. So there you go. Really tight race. 5 points separating Stafford and Drake May. That is what the difference was. Josh Allen got a couple votes, so he's going to finish third in the MVP race. Christian McCaffrey finished fourth. Trevor Lawrence finished fifth. I think the other considerable weird thing of this MVP voting is, and I think the Drake May people are going to start freaking out about if you were on the Drake May side, is that we did have a first place vote for Justin Herbert, which, we're just going back to the same well of the look at me stuff in terms of who we're talking about and what kind of votes are going which way for Hall of Fame, certain things, an aspect of it. Sometimes you can be a little too smart for your own good. And I understand that maybe the person who voted for Justin Herbert felt that they needed to validate how good Herbert has been as a player, but to consider that as a realm of possibility for you to vote for him number one in the MVP award, you got to be kidding yourself in terms of it. That just feels a little, look at me, feels like you just lost yourself in the sauce just a little bit in terms of the statistical analysis of whatever you were considering there. So things got to be evaluated, things got to be overhauled. The witch hunts, sometimes they're beneficial, sometimes they're not. But at some point, people got to be held accountable in those situations. And let's be honest, Drake May missed out on one first place vote over Stafford, and maybe that first place vote to Justin Herbert would have mattered. So that's where I think a lot of the Patriots fans, the Boston media who's here, are having the strife and anger towards the result of what we are seeing here around. So, anyways, the other big piece of news from that award ceremony was Stafford announcing he is going to be back this next coming season, and that is a relief for, I think, a lot of Ram fans out there as well. And I didn't see any reason why he should retire after obviously being an MVP contender and now winning the MVP award. I do believe Stafford making the right choice here to come back for another year. It lines up. It's the SoFi Stadium factor. That's going to be next year's Super Bowl. That's where it's going to be. The Rams are lined up perfectly to repeat exactly the success they had this year. Not a lot of different players leaving in terms of that. They have a great core on the offensive side. They have an awesome core on the defensive side. We talked to Kobe Turner and Byron. The vibes are high for the Rams in terms of it. And we know how great Sean McVay is, who just, by the way, looking to add Cliff Kingsbury to his coaching staff. So we're looking at a lot of the same and maybe some innovation to it as well. So the Rams are going to be a prime suspect for potentially winning a Super Bowl next year. I would guarantee you that. And it's a great thing to think about, knowing going into this offseason that the Rams aren't sitting on the what if. It is what they know now, which is Stafford is going to be your quarterback next year. So excited for that. Looking forward to that. And those are some of the headlines on the top of our show today. What do we got? We got interviews galore. Interviews all around us here at Radio Row. So why don't we get to a couple of them now. Coming up next, we talked to Robert Gallery. Yes, the offensive lineman from the Raiders back in the day. He joined us. It's a great conversation with BJ Ganem as well. So we're going to have them next. And stick around. Behind the Bench just getting started here live from Radio Row on 1430.
All right, pleasure to be joined by a couple of great gentlemen here who are with us on ESPN Fresno. Robert Gallery joining me, as well as BJ Ganem here, representing Athletes for Care. And guys, it's great to have you here on this Friday. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for having us.
Doing great.
Fantastic to have you. Of course, we're Raider Station, so glad to have a former Raider on. And, of course, here with BJ. And, Robert, tell us a little bit about Athletes for Care and who we have next to us here
today.
So
after my post-career, I went through the post-career struggles that everyone goes through with lack of identity and all these things, and then found out that I had a ton of brain damage from all the TBI and head trauma throughout my playing career, and that led to some healing that I found, alternative healing through psychedelic assisted therapy with Ibogaine, and I did that healing with a lot of veterans who have been going through it, because there's a lot of crossover in our two communities. And so I started Athletes for Care to bring awareness to athletes, all right, and other people that there are options out there to help with these things, the depression, the suicide, all these things that come from TBI. And through this, we created a relationship with DAV, Disabled American Veterans, and their organization that's been around 100 years, and was introduced to BJ here, and BJ has been a part of the flag football game, amputee flag football game that was put on for about 10 years before it took a break for COVID, and we decided we wanted to do something to bring our two communities, show what we're doing, support each other, and to bring awareness to people. And so bringing back the flag football game, it's the DAV Bowl, sponsored by DAV at dav.org. And we're excited to be here talking about it.
BJ, speak about the partnership,
Yeah.
right, between DAV and Athletes for Care, right? Flag football game with the veterans, right? Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing here this week, and from your perspective on the partnership between you.
I mean, so amazing. I mean, one is it's the ultimate fantasy camp, right? Take the field. I mean, I've caught passes from Roger Staubach, Michael Vick. I've tried to tackle Ricky Williams, though he's really, really fast.
He's hard to tackle.
Yeah, and it's just amazing. It's just been so much fun, and the camaraderie, the organic camaraderie that we built. I mean, to make it in the military, at performing at a high level as an infantry Marine, for these guys to make it into the NFL at a high level, that's less than 1% of the population, and so it feels good when there's somebody else that knows that feeling of losing their identity when they took the uniform off,
right,
and not being ready. I got blown up in Iraq in 2004, and I was 9 years into my military career, and I just wasn't ready. And I'm sure it was probably the same for Robert when he got hurt towards the end. You want to keep going, especially you got to the Patriots right at the end. So
yeah,
it's that it hurts in a way, and I know there's people out there like, oh, well, that's not such a big deal. It's a big deal.
right.
Especially when you're battering the brain injuries, and that's where organizations like DAV and Athletes for Care really help bring those resources together, and why this game, the DAV Bowl, is so important, that we can offer people to come have fun first, and then let's talk about how we can get a little better.
And you mentioned kind of the identity loss a little bit, right? Because you know what you can be capable of, and then when something happens like that, it just kind of strips you of your ability, not just for yourself, but for the people you were around and you support, and teammates, essentially, right, in that sense. Is that kind of the way you look at it in that sense? And
Absolutely. When it's gone, right, it's gone. You lose that community, you lose that locker room, that sense of belonging is something, because that's all we did for a lot of years in our own careers. So when you lose that, right, it's hard to figure out how to fix that. Although you have a family at home and have these things, you lose that that identity and that feeling. And so top that on top of dealing with your brain not working correctly because of damage can lead down a dark path. And so we're here to just share our stories and build this community and raise awareness.
The stigma of mental health, we're continuing to break it down, and BJ, I'm sure you've seen the changes throughout the years of the stigma of it. What are the signs that are indicating to you that this is something we're progressing to in a better way, maybe from like 15 years ago when we were dealing with it?
Yeah, so when I first got injured, I did all the stereotypical things. I drank too much, got in trouble, ended up having a bad divorce, was facing bankruptcy. And it was just a reaction to, again, the brain injuries. It's the brain fog. You're really not yourself. But having those people in your life that can really call you out. But I think we're doing better. We're definitely talking about it. So one of the things that I always try to point out is that I want veterans to realize we don't need to focus on veterans and disability all the time. That's one of the things I love about the DAV is if you see a lot of their billboards, we got the red line through the disc. It's not that it's not important, but we can't make it the most important because we still have a lot left in the tank. And that's one of the things that we want to get out there is that, we got to be vulnerable. We got to be honest, and we got to do the work.
Yeah.
There's no easy way through this, so there is going to be work required. And it's not so many times how many times you fall down. It's how many times you get up. And that's what I want to get across, because what worries me is I see all these commercials about here's the quick pill to get you better right away, and we don't want that. And that's one of the things that Ibogaine, I think, really does, is that a lot of my friends that have participated in it, similar to Robert, they did it once or twice, and then that was it. Sometimes maybe 3 times, but this isn't a drug. From what I hear, I haven't done it yet, but everybody confirms it's not a drug you want to do for fun.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
But it does, and Robert can speak to it about how it helped him rewire his brain.
Well, I'll let you speak to it, Robert, if you want to step in there on.
Yeah, no, it is. I tried everything in modern medicine for about a year and a half, working with doctors and specialists to try and get rid of the brain fog and the mood swings and the suicidal thoughts, and none of it worked. And so this medicine, right, it is a African shrub root, right? It has been used for addiction for many years. It's at one point it was made a Schedule 1, but it is a medicine, and so they're proving through studies with Stanford and other big top-notch organizations, places, that it actually does help rewire your brain, helps create new white brain matter, helps fix repaired areas of your brain. And so dealing with PTSD, all these things that a lot of us deal with, it has been a huge push on it here the last few years, and that's something that saved my life, and so that's why I'm so passionate about it and help getting it to where everyone can use it.
Let's preview the DAV Bowl. Tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
Tickets free, completely free out at Cappuccino High School in San Bruno.
Exactly.
And what can people expect when they're going to go watch this game tomorrow?
I mean, you're going to see fun, something similar to more like the Harlem Globetrotters or the Savannah Bananas, and it's. I think you're going to see some authentic caring. It's. I'm just always taken aback at some of these big names and all these players that I know get pulled in all these different directions. You see where they get pulled to, and they take the time to show up and play this game with us. It means a lot to us. It really helps us understand that what we did is important.
Yeah.
And again, like what we try to remind them is what they did was important, because that was, especially when we were in Iraq, I remember we heard like the Houston Astros won the World Series. It turns out that year was the Boston Red Sox won it. So it was hard to get the scores of your favorite teams, and when we had a chance, we were always in boots and utes playing football, trying to emulate these guys, and now we get a chance to come out there tomorrow, thanks to the DAV and Athletes for Care at Cappuccino High, and put on a great show for everybody.
Robert, what are you looking forward to tomorrow's game? The whole experience with that?
I just think being around these guys and these men and women, right, and throwing the football around a little bit. I got my shoulder replaced here about a year ago, so I think I can throw passes now. So I'm looking forward to just get out and run around and just being around the community.
The community, the Bay Area community, which you were part of for quite some time too. It's exciting to be back here, right, and be in the area where, we got the game in a couple days. What is it like just to be familiarized back with the Bay Area?
That's great. Obviously, as you said, spent a lot of time here, know a lot of people here still, and this is such a great community. There's so many different areas, right, in this Bay Area, so many different groups of people and things going on, but this area is very supportive, always has been. They love their sports. Just great people here in the San Francisco Bay Area.
I want to break it down to the last question here before I let you go. Let's get some thoughts on this game coming up Sunday. Robert, you focused on the O-line guys, but what are you breaking down here? And then I'll get BJ's opinion here next.
I like both sides of the ball. Their offensive line, they play the game the right way. They have good scheme, this type of scheme I like to play, run first, and they're both playing well as a unit. So, I put played some games for Seattle, so I'm going to go with Seattle, but excited to see this matchup.
What do you got, BJ?
Same with Robert. I mean, these teams are playing exactly what I like to see. Smash mouth football.
Defense is back.
Defense is back. I mean, I love it. It's good. But I'm going with the Patriots. I really like what Vrabel's doing. I liked him as a player. And I just have some connections there in Boston and the New England area that I just want to root for this. And plus, they're the red, white, and blue. Nothing against the Seahawks, but hey, if we're going to root for something, let's root for the Patriots.
American 250, right?
That's
you got to
right.
get the red, white, and blue out there in terms of that. So maybe it's all coming together. Who knows? But guys, I appreciate it as always. Once again, info out there. DAV Bowl tomorrow. Gates open 10 a.m. Kickoff is at 12:30 if you're in the area at San Bruno, California, Cappuccino High School, and the ticket's free.
It's free.
Free to get in.
Come on out and support.
Yeah, should be good. Guys, I appreciate it as always, and thanks for stopping by ESPN Fresno.
Thank you.
Very much.
on ESPN Fresno with Sean Merriman, Charger linebacker. Great. Good to have you, man. You're
Good, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
looking good here on this Thursday afternoon. How are we feeling in Super Bowl week?
It's tiring. This part of it.
I know.
Right? But you know what? It's cool, man. You get a chance to see guys that, like, you only get a chance to see once a year.
Right.
That I played with, or I played against, and talk about old stories. Like,
Sharing those stories.
Remember that time you did? I'm like, oh man, I was a demon back then. That was so bad. But also too, getting a chance to meet some of the younger guys who just got drafted,
Right.
these up and coming guys. So, and they'll come up to you and say, man, I used to watch you when I was 10. I'm like, I'm really old. I'm getting old now. But it's been great being here.
Yeah, it's sharing the stories. I call it like a football convention, right? It's
Yeah.
just kind of everybody, and you're seeing old teammates. We were just talking about Lorenzo Neal. I see him around
Yeah.
here. We got to get him on the mic at some point. I know that for a fact, but I think we'll get him. But what's been the most rewarding about seeing those old teammates around here?
For one, just seeing familiar faces, one, and then two, everybody. A lot of guys when they retire, they go back to their hometown. They go,
Yeah.
wherever else, and the only time you get a chance to see them mostly is at functions, events, and mainly this one. So it's always really good seeing them.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, reflecting on your career, reflecting on everything. Tell me about just what it's been like. Kind of being an alumni, being an ambassador for the NFL. You think back to your days, but now kind of the guy who's ushering the guys in. You talk to some of the young guys coming in, especially on this Chargers team, right? What is it like to be a guy who's kind of helping those guys get into the NFL?
It's because I'm in the fight, in the fight business now, and I got
Yeah.
the MMA stuff going on, and I didn't really know how much I missed, like, being around a lot of the guys until. So Max Crosby, Cam Jordan, and Von Miller, they have this SAC Summit they do every year in Vegas. And they invited me out a couple years before, and I just couldn't make it because I was traveling or working or doing something. And I went this past year, and I coached, some of the younger guys who were 5 years in and under. And I got that bug a little bit. Man, I was like, man, this is, it's cool. And then Cam Jordan actually asked me, are you going to come coach? I said, dude, not with those hours. Those hours they put in, man, I can't go back doing that. But all in all, I love being around the guys.
Tell me a little bit about getting in the fight business real quick.
Yeah.
The MMA side of things. How'd you find that after your career?
I actually picked it up while playing.
Yeah.
And I started to train in the mid-2000s. Jay Glazer had introduced me to Randy Couture.
Okay.
And I started training with Randy during the off season, then started training with Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz, and Tyron Woodley was just coming on at that time. And many others were in the gym, and even still now, I still try to find a day or two to go spar and still move around. And I love the sport.
Yeah.
And so I ended up launching Lights Out Extreme Fighting, and we just signed did a partnership with ESPN Latin America, which is massive because outside of the states where football is dominant here. The NFL's always be king here in the U.S., but outside of the states, it's two things: it's soccer and combat sports.
Yeah,
they love it.
And
so it's been great.
The Central Valley has a real rich history with the fighting side of things as well. California in general, I'm sure you've gone up or down this state and you've seen it in terms of it. Do you equate the grind of trying to become a football player with the grind of MMA? Like, what do you equate to that with those experiences and what you've seen from some of the guys who have had to take that journey?
Now that there's real money into combat sports, you'll have a lot of former football players making that transition. Right, because I was going to fight when I retired in 2016 for Bellator, and the money I asked for, they looked at me like I was just absolutely crazy, which now looks like nothing because of the influencers and the crossover, and so now that would have been nothing. I just kind of was ahead of my time. But I think you're going to see a lot of former football players who maybe got cut from a team, maybe got, in a bad situation or got traded and they're just done with football or injured and they can't play at that level anymore. So you know what? I'm going to go fight somebody, right? And it's the mentality is there. Now you just need to understand the discipline and get into a great camp.
Is it like that when you're going up against O-line guys, right? The combat.
Well, that's why I got into it.
Yeah, right.
That's why I originally got into it because I just wanted to. I was so bad using my hands as a pass rusher.
Really?
I was terrible, because I didn't play outside linebacker or even knew how to pass rush until I got to University of Maryland. I never had a sack before in my life.
Wow.
And I got to Maryland, and they said, hey, we're going to line you up out here. You go get the quarterback now.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, how do you do that? Because I always played middle linebacker.
Right.
So that, when I got to the NFL, and now the talent is much better. So in college, I could just run by you, run through you, bull rush, inside move, and keep it basic and win.
Right.
When you get up to the pros, everybody's good. So that's not going to fly anymore.
Exactly.
Now you got to get good with your hands. Now you're leveraging pad level and bending around the corner as the outside linebacker. Those things are more important, and that's what MMA helped me get better in.
And what's fascinating about the connection, right, with MMA and all that, it sounds like I hear pass rushers talk about how they're going to be – how they set guys up. Like they set guys up with one move and you set them up with another. Fighters do the same thing, right, when it comes to that. It's fascinating, the chess match that happens.
It's so much of a chess match, and the more and more you learn about it, the more and more you get locked in.
Yeah.
And you want to know more, and you're watching the game within the game, right? When you're fighting somebody, set them up with feints and hit them upstairs, hit them down, and just, kind of set them up for a big overhand right?
Right.
In football, as an outside linebacker and pass rusher, you might just do speed up the field to get this guy's hips turned and make him think, oh, he's going to try to beat me with speed every time. And you turn that thing into a bull rush, that's the setup. And once you understand that aspect of it, I mean, you just fall in love with it.
Absolutely, and of course, it's been kind of amazing. I feel like the pass rushers nowadays, this generation, it's just getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
You notice that in the NFL. I mean, we got guys it feels like guys on every team is able to do what you were doing in the NFL. Like, how have you seen the growth of the pass rush in the last?
It was mind-boggling to being out there with Max Crosby and Cam Jordan and Vaughn and the rest of the young pass rushers, but how they see things now.
Yeah.
You got to remember, back when I played, there, you had the Peyton Mannings of the world who can throw but couldn't run.
Can't run under a phone booth.
Right? Tom Brady can throw but couldn't run.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger was the only maybe tweener that could.
Right.
But now you have Josh Allen. Now you got Patrick Mahomes. Now you got a Lamar Jackson. Now you have Joe Burrow.
Right.
Justin. We didn't have that. You were either one or the other.
Yeah.
And you may be able to do one thing a little bit, but wasn't that great at it.
Right.
These guys can hurt you with their legs and their arm equally.
Yeah.
And so how you rush the pass, the quarterback now is different. I'm hearing them talking. I'm like, wow, y'all got to pay attention to that now. Y'all got to really work on that, because once we beat our guy, you're going to get a sack.
Right.
Now these guys can escape.
So when you hear Phillip Rivers is coming back to today's NFL to play 3 games, you're sitting there like, man, Phil, I don't know what you're looking into here for 3 games. Did you talk to him when he was making the comeback?
It's funny. We were all together at Antonio Gates' Hall of Fame induction in Canton in August. And at Antonio Gates' event, it was like me, Drew Brees, LT, and Phil and Gates were all circled up and talking, and then most of us was talking about football in the past tense.
Right. Phil wasn't doing it.
Yeah, but it did make sense then. And I was thinking it, but I didn't really think much of it.
Right.
And then when he came back, and I said, "Oh, okay, this makes total sense." But that's who Phil is, man.
Right.
I wasn't actually worried about his playing ability. When I texted him, I just reached out to him to make sure that he was feeling good the next day he woke up. That's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
Because
he played against that team up the,
yeah,
Seahawks,
playing the game, your body can get used to that, but the recovery you can't.
Yeah.
So when I texted him, I said, "Dude, how do you feel?" So.
Yeah. You got a good Lorenzo Neal story for us for the Fresno folks?
Yeah, I mean I could do that. That's my brother, man.
Yeah.
That's me. Lo Neal, which is a shame he's not in the Hall of Fame, because he should be.
He should be.
And I played against them all. Best running backs, best fullbacks, and Lo Neal was just he was on a different planet, and how he did it. He put real fear into linebackers, and because he wrestled.
Oh, yeah.
So Lo loves to grab you and play around and do stuff. And I remember my rookie year just kind of tussling with him a little bit, knowing that he was more advanced than I thought. And I eased up. I said, okay, But we used to have a good brother-in-law system, me and him.
Yeah.
Or else somebody wasn't gonna make it to the game, man. So I was always thankful to got a chance to play.
No
with
one
him.
was beating low in a wrestling match.
No, you can forget about it. No.
That guy's a beast, man. It's awesome. But, hey, Sean, I appreciate you swinging by here real quick for us on ESPN Fresno. Real quick, we're going predictions here for everybody who comes by. What do you got for us Sunday?
I'm going to Seahawks.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds cliche. And it's the consensus here. But as a player, you know that any team can beat you any week. If Mike Vrabel find a way to scheme this game up correctly, he fire those guys up, the Patriots could win.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to play damn near a perfect game in order to win. That's why I'm saying, like, Sam Darnold can throw an interception or two and they can still win.
Right.
The Patriots throw a couple interceptions. I don't think they don't have a chance to win. And that's where my decision is coming in at when we're talking about the winners of this game.
For sure. All right, Sean. Well, I appreciate you swinging by.
You got it, brother. Appreciate it.
Best of luck the rest of the week and enjoy it, man. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
All right. ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, wrapping up hour number 1 of 2 today. We're going all the way to 5 o'clock. Send you on over to 790 for FPU Sunbird Baseball. Want to take time to once again shout out our sponsors that have allowed us to take this trip up north for Radio Row during the week of the big game. Of course, Chuchancy Gold Resort and Casino. Be sure to head up on the mountain. Of course, they've been fantastic sponsor for us there. Horn Barbecue, fantastic barbecue joint that just opened up here at Granite Park in Fresno, where you're listening. FFB Bank, of course, longtime sponsor for us. Fashion Furniture, who has always been fantastic to us. Helena Agri, great sponsor for us as well. Be sure to support their business. And Decent Duker as well. And Central Valley Sports Stitch and Ink. All great sponsors on this wonderful Radio Row week. And we have been having a lot of fun. We know it has to pay the bills somehow, and we appreciate their sponsorship of our trip here. Big thanks to our interviews in the previous couple of segments, Robert Gallery and BJ Ganem. What an awesome conversation about mental health with athletes, and comparable to the dealings and goings on of war veterans and folks who have been in combat, who have been injured in combat. It is hard when you lose your ability, your physical ability that you know you are so great at having, and then you lose it, and you don't know how to really identify yourself when you don't have it anymore. And so that was a great conversation. Sean Merriman, awesome conversation with him. I love the Lorenzo Neal stuff when we're talking about it with him too. So I appreciate him giving us a couple insight there as well. So it was a great couple of interviews there. We got a couple more still coming. Tony Khan, I saw him walking around, so he's coming up in the next hour. And then I think we're going to have our best interview of the week. We're going to replay our favorite interview of the week, and we got a couple contenders. I'll announce that closer to the top of the next hour. I did want to. Why don't we bring let's bring Lexi on, right? Because Lexi's there on the mic. And Lexi, how are we doing on this Friday? I'm ready to descend into the bipolar weather. We've been here in sunny San Francisco for quite some time. I'm bringing Joe on as well because we need Joe. You need the clip-on mic if you're going.
Oh, that's
it's
right.
in front
I'm the
of
one
you.
doing this, and then I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Apparently.
All right, Lexi. I need you to grade how we've done on their social media this past week. Is there any pointers you would say, or has it been on fleek? I don't know. I'm just.
What is the word for that one, Lexi? What is it?
How have the unks been? The unks on loose, or have the unks been good?
It wasn't about. It wasn't about posting. It was about what I'll talk to you when I get back. It was about something I was trying to do, and then I just kind of gave up on it. That's why. It wasn't about Joe Burrow, like I said.
Joe Burrow is actually the person I haven't seen.
I haven't seen him on here either.
I'll tell you what, the quarterbacks, the current quarterbacks in the National Football League, I think they make enough money they don't have to be here for that kind of dog and pony.
I mean,
stuff.
Jamar Chase is making a lot of money.
Yeah, but like not quarterback money.
I guess
Quarterback money is a different animal when it comes to everything.
We saw Jamar Chase like everywhere around here.
He was at the Experience last night. We went to the
Yeah,
Experience.
exactly. That's why we keep seeing him everywhere. Him and T. Higgins have been like doing the whole buddy. We're gonna go do everything.
Anyways, we've been posting recaps. Joe, we've been posting recaps. We've been posting all kinds of different videos on the YouTube channel.
I'm personally behind on the past few days of recaps because of all the interviews I've been having to fix up and throw on there.
Yeah.
But I will this weekend. I'm working through it.
Let me tell you, YouTube, ESPN Fresno YouTube is where you want to be in terms of all the interview stuff and all the opening night things. And it's been a whirlwind, certainly, and everything like that. But we have certainly delivered on the content front, and I hope everybody has been enjoying it. And
I wanted to hear Lexi. I haven't heard Lexi on the air. That's why.
Oh, you haven't heard it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I got one.
Oh, you talking about the interception?
We saw that live.
Yeah, we were watching
in
it.
our hotel room. We were getting ready for the media party at Madden headquarters. Yeah, well,
I didn't see that.
He didn't land it.
He didn't land it?
No,
Uh,
he was a little out of football shape, I would guess. I think he pulled up a little bit because he didn't really feel like he's like, oh, am I going to do this? And then he kind of did it. And when you hesitate on a backflip, you don't.
yeah, no, there's.
Take it from me, who knows how to do backflips, right?
I see Phil do 4
Yeah, I'm just doing them everywhere around here. Backflips for everybody. Just got to be careful.
out there on 5th Street,
Yeah, just backflipping.
all the way down to what is it, Mission Street.
Mission, whatever it is. Anyways, no, we've been having a lot of fun, and we could definitely get a recap. We got to put all our stuff together. I was putting up some photos. We have a lot of photos with our guests.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
I have a lot of interviews to spice up, but all the full ones are not all of them, but a lot of the full ones are there. There's still like at least 8 more I got to put in there, but they're entertaining. I've been every time I go back and I start watching them for a while. So
yeah.
I mean, the Tracy Sandler, like I was messing with that one, and I instantly just started watching it because she's talking about the Niners and the whole facility thing and
The substation.
the substation.
The substation.
And of course, if you watch it, you know there's stuff that I guess most people don't know about.
No, exactly.
Right. So yeah, it's interesting, but it's a lot of fun. It's just a lot of work for 2 people. That's all I gotta say.
Lexi, any things you saw that you were like, hey, I need a little more like context of what was going on there? What were you guys up to? Or do you have anything like, or are you just gonna let the Younks be loose? Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I get it. I'm so like
We did the experience last night. Yeah.
so
Here's far. I'll tell you what.
I did it. Well, I did it. Our only down. I really didn't have much downtime here. Like we've been working like nonstop, like basically 9:30 to 6, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we get back, and then I go back and I edit, and then all that. So I haven't had any downtime to really like. I did it Wednesday though. I walked down the Embarcadero.
Yeah. Wednesday you did it. We had our own.
I don't have you
freedom.
on Instagram, Lexi. Otherwise, you would have seen my picture. I posted a crazy picture of one of the streets, but
Yeah.
even the like Embarcadero. Not my. Oh, you have my account. Don't go in my account, Lexi.
Oh my god.
But
I have questions, by the way, about accounts and things in Instagram because I'm seeing some things pop up here on my Instagram.
yeah, there's like what we call burner accounts.
Are there burner accounts, Lexi? Because I know one of our good friend Riley who works there. An account popped up for me to follow, and I'm like, this is definitely not her actual account that I follow. Like, what is this? Uh-huh. Oh.
Oh,
So it's like work behind the scenes account. So like if I tried to follow that account, I'm not getting anything out of that, am I? And it's more for yeah, okay. So it's more it's more for your use than
at least she's honest about it.
yeah, you know, whatever. I just one account's enough hard enough for me to manage. I don't know how.
Yeah, like I said, this was crazy this weekend
Yeah.
doing all this stuff and just like I was trying to put stuff every day, but at the same time not overwhelm and you know what I mean. Like it's a lot.
Right.
That whole social media stuff. It's cool, and we got a lot of views of everything. Everything
Yeah.
kind of went up, followers, everything. So that's cool. YouTube too. YouTube, we got a bunch more views, all that fun stuff. So I guess content wasn't half bad, but yeah, there's more to be put out. So that's
certainly
why
all throughout the
like,
week
yeah.
because we got to push to the game. We air the game on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday we got the game on the station, so that'll be
Yeah.
fun, and then we get to see you. You know, basically everyone here said Seattle was in the win.
I have a couple who are on the Patriots. Of course, I want to make my official predictions in the next segment here.
Well,
So-
I'm curious what Lexi and Jorge and all them are going to say.
Do
too,
we want to make them make the predictions now, and then I kind of officially talk the game through at the top of the next hour?
Yeah,
Is that what
I want to hear.
Jorge is Jorge around on the mic, or is he just Jorge's right there?
I could hear Lexi walking away.
Yeah, why not? I need your prediction because I'm going to get Joe on the prediction next segment. So
Which is weird though.
it's so strange for you.
What? Why, Jorge? That's like me going for the Patriots as a Dolphins fan.
Yeah,
it makes
like
no sense
yeah,
to me.
makes no sense to Jorge's trying hard here.
I get
trying
it.
hard to
I
troll
get it.
me.
It's the Patriots.
Jorge's
but
trying
that's like
hard to troll
Why
me.
do you want them hoisting the Lombardi in your stadium?
It would drive me nuts.
You just said.
He's just not going for the. He
I
has.
thought you said you were going to say I'm not going for the Seahawks. I was like, you just said that.
He just doesn't want to root for the Patriots. Here's the thing, Jorge.
They go forfeit. It's tie game.
What's
It's a soccer game, 0-0.
Is there anything the Patriots have wronged the Niners in at all? Like I feel like
They
there
have
should
nothing-
be no beef.
Yeah,
There should-
isn't Tom Brady a Niner fan?
he is a grown up Niner fan.
Yeah.
There's no beef between Niners and Patriots.
That
Like
makes no sense.
more often than not, the Niners have actually beaten the Patriots more, in my memory, than the flip side of like the Patriots having some sort of heartbreaking moment that the Niner fans feel vindictive over.
Yeah, I don't know.
You hate him because you think it's cool to hate him. That's where I'm at with it. Sure.
Jorge.
It was cool to hate the
I get
Patriots.
it.
It's not
I
cool to
get
hate
it.
the Patriots anymore.
I get it, Jorge. But as a Dolphins fan, I saw them. Hold on.
You
Hold
sound
on.
like a hater right now. You
As
sound like a hater.
As a
right
Dolphins fan, Jorge, I had to see them destroy my Dolphins twice a year.
You are a hater. All right, he admitted.
I get it.
He's
No,
a hater.
I'm a hater too, but at the same time, I'm like real about
You have a valid hate.
Yes, exactly.
Jorge, I'm sorry. It feels like a fake hate. I'm just gonna call you out on
You're
it.
just jumping on the hate train.
You just
Jorge.
you just want to hate, man.
You're just a phony.
You- I don't know, man. It feels like you just know everybody else hates them, so you're like, I'm on the hate train. Come on, here we go. Everyone hates the Patriots. Instead, I'm like, and then you're just gonna have to swallow the fact that Seattle's gonna hoist this Lombardi Trophy in your damn stadium.
I would hate that.
That would
just
drive me nuts. If the New York Jets won a Super Bowl in Foxborough, I would end it all. I know.
I get it, but I don't know.
It's just crazy.
You're like one of those dudes, like Kevin from Major Wager, who goes for everyone in his division. He's like rooting. What is he, a Steeler fan? He goes, "Go Bengals, go Ravens." Dude, it doesn't work like that. Like they hate each other. I don't know.
20 seconds. Lexi, who's winning? Not because you're a hater. Oh, there we go.
Okay. See,
at least Lexi's real about it instead of Jorge's just like, ah.
Well, I mean, with me too. Like I hate the Patriots and I hate Phil's stuff too. So it's like
we gotta end this hour or else we're gonna go over. So let's end it hour. We'll come right back for hour number 2 next year.
count them. Let me mute this. Everyone's hearing me right now. Let's see.
anyways, let's talk about this game, right? Because I don't know what more time I will have to talk about this game in final predictions. My official prediction is coming up right in this segment, of course. And there are so many angles to this game. But first, I want to invite our friend Chase, who's now here producing. Chase, how are we doing? Alexi had to take off, so now we have Chase, our intern, on the board. Just bringing you in, just saying hello on this Friday. How are we doing? Oh, okay. I thought we were getting Chase on the mic, so I apologize. I thought we were putting him there. Anyways, okay. Let me know when he's ready to go. So, anyways, I'm very excited about this game. Obviously, there's a very obvious element to me being very excited about this game in terms of my team. Yes, New England Patriots, but objectively, I think this is a very exciting matchup when it comes to what these teams are based out of, which is two strong defensive units with two prolific offenses that have an opportunity to showcase their ability in a great way. Yeah, there he is. Chase is there. Hello, Chase. You, how are we doing on this Friday? Great to have you, man. Yeah, all right, there we go. So, Chase, you ready for this Super Bowl 60? You geared up? You got plans on Sunday? Excited for this one? There you go. Happy birthday to your friend there. Shout out to him. Anyways, I'm getting everybody's predictions. So, real quick, Chase, you got a prediction for this game from your perspective? Just a real quick. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Look how quick that set is.
Not even a vibe. Not even anything indicating the Patriots and the Seahawks. You got to have some sort of lean in here. Seattle or Boston area. What, any sort of something leaning that way or? Okay. All right. That's as much I guess I'm going to get out of you, Chase. That's fine. I like the neutrality, all right? It keeps you very subjective anyways, as opposed to Jorge, who's a hater. All right. Anyways, let's talk about this game and what we expect with it and when it's coming. And we have analyzed the way these teams have played football. The Patriots, who are a top 10 team in a lot of different categories. Actually, fascinatingly enough, if you look at the offensive statistics that the Patriots have had, you look at the points per game, you look at the rush per game, the yards per game, the giveaway opportunities per game, the power index, the efficiency, third down percentage, all of these things I'm talking about, red zone percentage, all of those things I mentioned, the Patriots are ranked higher in the NFL with than the Seahawks have. But we know the explosiveness that Seattle has. You feel like the talent is a little bit greater. But honestly, it is as look in the mirror as we are looking at imposed opponents in this matchup. And that's what excites me the most about what we're going to be facing with this Super Bowl 60 on Sunday. It is a look in the mirror of identical looking kind of players. The Patriots with Drake May, the Seahawks with Sam Darnold, the Patriots with Ramondre Stevenson, the Seahawks with Kenneth Walker, the Patriots with Stephon Diggs, the Seahawks with Jackson Smith-Njigba, the Patriots on the defensive side with Christian Gonzalez, the Seahawks with Nick Emmanwori as one of the secondary guys out there, Julian Love as a guy who's out there. It is a fascinating look at what we've been seeing in terms of these teams and the styles they play. I cannot wait to see either side of the ball play in this matchup as far as that's concerned. I cannot wait to see where it's all going to be shaping up in my imagination and estimation as far as that's concerned. So I have been leaning Seattle in this matchup in terms of everything like that. And I have been leaning towards where the game is going to be played and how it's going to flow. And I have said this from the beginning. The aspect of the game that's going to matter the most is the turnovers and what Sam Darnold has done and what Sam Darnold has been. And it's going to be interesting if he is going to be able to be perfectly clean in this postseason as he has been, which through 2 games hasn't really been challenged that much. But I would argue that this Patriot defense, which has been as hot as anybody, is a factor in terms of what it can affect with Sam Darnold. Can the disguises, can the blitzes, can the different looks, can Milton Williams, as you heard in the Sports Center update, be a factor in this football game? He certainly will be. Is Sam Darnold going to panic at any point with the football and trying to get rid of it, and it somehow finds a way to a defender of the New England Patriots? That is the matchup I'd look for most in this game. I have been on this the entire week in terms of it, and I just don't know if that is something that Darnold can avoid. And in that case, and I don't want to sound like a homer, I've said this numerous times about this Patriots team, the path, which certainly has been wanting as far as the opponent, but they play the opponent that's in front of them. The opponent in front of them is a fantastic team with a fantastic defense, but the Patriots have faced 3 fantastic defenses so far this season, this postseason. The Chargers, the Texans, the Broncos, and I understand people's reservations of how poorly they've played on offense. It's simply hard to solve all those defenses in a row, but you're battle tested. And so in my opinion, in my feeling, I do feel like I have to go New England in this football game. There's a gut telling me that is saying this team plays better together as a group, as a unit, as a final product. They have made better opportunistic plays when another team makes bad football mistakes. The Patriots have done this all year. They're not ready to they have not been blown out this year in any form or capacity. They have had each game in hand in some certain opportunity all throughout this season with a chance to win. I believe the New England Patriots have that chance and opportunity to have those opportunities to be able to win football games, including this one on Sunday. And to me, that is why my official Super Bowl prediction will be the New England Patriots beating the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday. And I know you're all listening and you're like, well, that's the homer pick. That's the pick that Phil was going to go with anyway. But if you logically lay out everything I've presented to you, I do not see a scenario where the Patriots beat themselves. I do see a scenario where Seattle can beat themselves. And that is my big difference maker in this one coming up on Sunday. There you go. That's the prediction. We're very excited for it. Of course, we have Tony Khan, who's going to be ready to come on the show. So what we're going to do is going to take a break, and then we're going to have him on here live. Coming up next on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. ESPN Fresno, and pleased to be joined by our next guest, Tony Khan.
Hey,
man of the hour here with us, and pleasure to talk to you about AEW. Of course, exciting times with the wrestling scene. Glad to have you here on Radio Row.
well, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm back in Fresno next month. We've got AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite, Wednesday, March 18th. It'll be the first show after AEW Revolution, which is going to be a huge pay-per-view on Sunday, March 15th. And we're just doing fantastic right now. AEW's on a great roll. We've had huge viewership recently for Wednesday Night Dynamite on TBS. We'll be on tomorrow night, 8 p.m. on TNT. You can also stream all the shows on HBO Max now, and I can't wait to come back to Fresno next month, Wednesday, March 18th. And it's great to visit with you now, especially with AEW being on such a roll right now.
Yeah, I remember last year's show, and it was awesome to experience that. And a lot of the folks at Save Mart Center, which is a nice little more intimate venue than most. But I hear a lot of people really enjoying that show, and I'm sure we're excited to have it back in the Central Valley. The Dynamite and Collision. So what are we talking about here? Because you guys have all kinds of different shows that come in into the different towns. So when we're expecting the Dynamite Collision show here, what kind of show are we expecting?
That is going to be a double taping. You're going to get a live show on TBS. So that's the best of both worlds. What's coming to Fresno on March 18th? We've got a live event. It'll be on from 5 to 7 live nationwide on TBS. And that's Wednesday Night Dynamite. You'll be there live for that. And then we're also going to switch the set out. The crew does it very quickly. They work so hard. And we'll switch over and we'll do AEW Collision. And then we're going to film the AEW Collision that will be on Saturday night on TNT. We're on every Wednesday night live on TBS, and we're on Saturday nights on TNT. So if you come, you'll be there in your seat hopefully by 4:59 as I come out and say hello, warm you up, and get the crowd ready to go live 5 p.m. worldwide. And that's going to be a great Wednesday Night Dynamite. Then we'll film the Saturday Night Collision. And the people who come, they'll be great because they're going to be there, part of the live event. Wednesday Night Dynamite, the flagship show, the longest running primetime pro wrestling show ever on TBS and TNT, which a lot of your listeners know there's a very rich history of professional wrestling on TBS and TNT.
Yeah.
And now AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite, of all the wrestling promotions that have been on TBS and TNT over the years, Wednesday Night Dynamite's the longest running primetime pro wrestling show ever on TBS and TNT. So you'll be there for the live show. Then we're going to film Collision for Saturday. Collision's also on tomorrow night, and it was filmed in Las Vegas. So when you get to see the Collision on Saturday night, if you come on March 18th, then on that Saturday, you'll be able to watch it. You'll be in the arena, but you'll be at home. You'll be in two places at once. It's a lot like my favorite movie, Time Cop.
There you go.
To be in two places at once. So I do really love having these events. Fresno is a great wrestling town. Like you said, we had a fantastic event there this past year, and AEW had a fantastic year in general. Sports Illustrated picked AEW as the best wrestling promotion in the world last year. We won the awards from Sports Illustrated, ESPN, here your home network, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, Yahoo, New York Post, all said the best wrestling event of the year was from AEW. And we had a number of great events that won awards. So it's a great time for AEW. And like I said, I'm excited to be coming back on March 18th to Fresno.
I want to know how you start this thing, right? Because you got to be borderline obsessed with the wrestling scene at some point when you want to get this thing rolling. So tell me about your involvement, of course, and how you got this thing rolling, AEW.
Well, it's a great question, Phil. I have to say that I have always loved being around entertainment, around television, and I've always been a wrestling fan. And I've worked in the NFL now going on 15 years. This next season will be my 15th season with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I was in Los Angeles in 2018. April 6th of 2018, I was at a party in Beverly Hills, and I saw a friend of mine who was at the time the president of TNT and TBS.
Yeah.
And there's, again, to reiterate what I said a few minutes ago, there's a very rich history of wrestling on TNT and TBS, but they didn't have any wrestling shows at that point. And I thought, hey, in 2018, that would be a great time to launch these conversations. A year later, in 2019, I had been successful. We launched AEW. We've been on TNT and TBS ever since. Like I said, we're on every Saturday night, including tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on TNT. We're on every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on TBS. The show, you can watch it also live at 5 if you want to watch the East Coast feed. And the show will be live at 5 on March 18th when you come March 18th there in Fresno when we bring AEW to Fresno. But it's been now over 300 episodes on Wednesday nights. And it's a really amazing thing we built. So when I got into it, I thought I want to launch this wrestling league, and I really believe this will be something huge, and it's amazing what we've accomplished. And still every week we're hitting new heights. And the great thing about wrestling is there's no off season, there's no time off. We do this every week, and I love it.
And the wrestlers are fantastic. The characters you have there, it's fascinating. Kind of the storylines that come through with it. What excites you about just kind of the things that these wrestlers do night in, night out, and what they are able to do, and kind of create the drama of each night when it comes to the people that are showing up.
Well, again, there's no off season. What the wrestlers do is so incredible because they work, they fight, they compete year round, and they're incredible athletes. They come in all different shapes, sizes, and backgrounds. We have women and men from all over the world, and they are incredible. They're such great athletes, but also so many of them are so hardworking, determined, and tough to take the kind of punishment to wrestle through the injuries and the things they go through. And they also have incredible personalities. They can be some of the most charming and dynamic people in the world.
Absolutely.
And I love having AEW wrestling represented here at the Super Bowl. It's the biggest media week of the year anywhere in the world. And a lot of the wrestlers have been here from AEW here at Radio Row, and they've gotten great attention. It's great promotion for AEW.
Absolutely. And of course, it's great to have the cross promotion between your both worlds, right? Your NFL world and your wrestling world. And I do want to touch on a couple things on the NFL side, right? Because I think the last time you were here, I would imagine you were at that Niner game earlier this year. So it was a good memory for you guys. And it felt like your team really announced itself in that game. I was there. I was there watching the game personally as a press member, and I remember bookmarking. I'm like, look out for this Jaguar team. But tell me about coming back here and the Bay Area and the rich history of football here, and especially getting ready for a game like this.
It's fantastic to be out here in the Bay Area. The Jaguars had a tremendous season. That was a huge win, the game you mentioned, to come on the road and win at the 49ers, who are a tremendous franchise. And that was, like you said, early in the season, a really important win for the Jags. And then the team finished very strong during the regular season. And, when Liam Cohen arrived at the Jaguars, a major goal, of course, is to make the playoffs and to win the division. And he accomplished those things. And I think we all believe we have a really bright future. I'm really excited about it. We have a great head coach, and we built a great front office. I think my dad led a great process to find the right head coach and a great young general manager, with also bringing back Tony Baselli, who's probably the greatest player ever for the Jacksonville Jaguars, as a big part of the front office, who's a great leader. And I think what we have going into next season is a really bright future. I'm excited about this time of year. I love going into free agency and the NFL draft. I was just at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. And it's great being out here. Obviously, I think we'd all want to be playing in this game, and we all aspire to that. But being a part of the greatest game, which is the Super Bowl and the biggest week in all of media, it's tremendous. And I still love being out here representing AEW, and I'm on the fan engagement major events committee of the NFL. So I do work on that side of the business as well. So this is truly the greatest spectacle in all of sports, and I think all of media here.
And the globalization of the game, because you guys are so involved with it, especially with your partnership with the UK. I'm seeing, obviously, Melbourne, Australia. We're a Ram station, Niners station, so we're looking forward to that. But the steps moving forward to just get the game out there. They have the Rio announcement they made with the with the Cowboys, the Paris announcement with the Saints. It's you guys are kind of on the forefront of it, but how exciting is it for this to see everybody really embracing the global nature of the game?
It's fantastic. The first overseas game I was involved in was almost 13 years ago. The Jaguars played the 49ers at Wembley Stadium in 2013, and it's amazing how far the game has come in England in the years since. The Jaguars play every year there. We have a great fan base in Jacksonville, and we built a great connection between Jacksonville and London, with a lot of the people from London coming over to Jacksonville to watch Jaguars games, and a lot of people from Jacksonville making the trip over every year to go watch the Jags in London. And the game has grown so much in the UK. I do think it's very important, like you said, the globalization of the sport. The NFL has such a wide and robust and constantly growing and evolving strong fan base here in America. It's the most powerful entity in all of media. When you look at the top television shows each year, out of the top 100 television shows, 90 to 95 out of the most watched.
Right.
At least 90 every year, at least 90 out of the top 100 most watched shows are NFL football games. It's so incredible what the NFL has achieved and continues to accomplish here in America. And to your point, globalization, growing the NFL worldwide, that is a goal. And first and foremost, keeping the NFL strong here in the USA.
Absolutely, and it's strong now because of all these folks that have been here and get ready for this game coming up on Sunday. Should be a lot of fun to wrap up what has been a fantastic season. Tony, I know you're out of time, so I appreciate it as always. Once again, March 18th, we want to get people there down at the Save Mart Center in Fresno.
I can't wait, and I'll see you there Wednesday, March 18th. I really appreciate you having me on, and hopefully everybody can check out Saturday Night Collision tomorrow night, 8 p.m. on TNT tomorrow night, or you can stream it on HBO Max. And this Wednesday, we're back on TBS. We'll be in Ontario, California.
All right.
This Wednesday night, and I can't wait Wednesday, March 18th, to be back in Fresno with you, and I'll see you there, my friend.
Sounds good, Tony. Appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show. We'll
Great to see you.
Take a quick break right here on ESPN Fresno.
Thanks.
Can we get a quick picture?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, that's great, man.
Yeah. All right, please be. All right, please be joined. Our next guest, Rick Neuheisel, here with us on ESPN Fresno. Pleasure to have you. Good to meet you. Glad to have you on the show here.
It is a treat to be on ESPN Fresno. I've got a bunch of old fraternity brothers from Fresno.
Yeah, Fresno.
Yeah, Matt Defendis, Luke Palmo.
Okay.
Those were my guys. Mark Shue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all great guys. And I've made a number of trips to Fresno to hang out with those guys.
Central Valley, you know, the beautiful Central Valley there, going through it, you know, of course. You ever trek out there to the Central Valley from time to time with those fraternity buddies?
I was there many times while I was in college. I married a girl from Stockton.
Okay.
It was just up the road, right? And got married in that fair city. And so I'm very, very conversant with the Central Valley.
Well, it's good to be here, and we're good to be in California for another big game, Super Bowl 60, of course. And you're here getting ready for a new season with the USFL, right?
UFL.
UFL, that's
UFL.
right. The UFL, sorry.
The USFL was my play-in days.
That's right.
Yeah.
We had it all mixed up. But
Yeah.
the UFL there, of course, the Dallas Renegades, right?
The Dallas Renegades. Bobby Stoops coached them for the last couple of years.
You're taking over the helm.
And I've taken over the helm. He told me how much fun he had, and I'm not surprised at all. I played in the USFL back in the early 80s, 1984, 85. Saw Doug Flutie here walking around. We played against each other back in those days. A guy by the name of Trump was the owner of the New Jersey Generals. I don't know what ever happened to him. But the bottom line is it was a great experience. And so when I got a chance to coach in the Alliance of American Football, another spring league, I jumped at it because I knew how much fun it would be. And while maybe not as much pressure as the college jobs that I had or the NFL job that I had, it was important to the players to get a chance to try to chase the brass ring, to get back to an NFL opportunity, or to at least leave football on their own terms.
Right.
And I enjoyed it immensely. So when this opportunity came right at the end of the year, I said, absolutely. And I get to keep my radio job. I get to keep my CBS analyst job for the college football season. It is a perfect way to keep my coaching chops honed, and also to hopefully be a part of getting a guy another chance to, as I said, chase that brass ring.
And is that kind of the rewarding part, right? To work with guys like that who are, could have an opportunity to crack back into it.
I told you about the Alliance of American Football. The Arizona Hotshots, our quarterback was John Wolford.
Right.
Wolford was a Wake Forest guy. I called him to tell him I wanted him to come and play in that league. He was on Wall Street.
Yeah.
He had given up. He comes back. He's been in the league now 6 years.
He won a playoff game.
He won a playoff game.
Right.
The kid is, I don't know, made somewhere around $25 million.
Yeah.
That isn't a bad deal.
Right.
So if we can have that kind of impact on another guy in this particular thing, how much fun will that be?
What is it like coaching? Because there's obviously a hunger and a fever to just be, take the opportunities that you have in the league that you're in, right? And these guys are uber competitive,
right?
Especially within its own roster. I got to imagine the competitive nature, the feeling of it. What is it like? Like, what are you imagining? Like you said, you coached in the other side of the things, but with this brand of this league, what do you anticipate the kind of level of competition you would get within your own roster?
Well, we're going to have it will be great competition. The other 7 coaches, there's some guys getting their first chance to coach.
Yeah.
Ted Ginn Jr.
Right.
is going to coach the Columbus team. You can imagine those Ohio State fans going crazy for him. Chris Redman, who is Louisville favorite, right, is going to coach the Louisville Kings. That's fun stuff. A.J. McCarron down in Alabama is going to be at Birmingham. They're going to rally around him. So all those guys and their careers are beginning as coaches, right? Maybe this leads to great things at some level other than the UFL.
Yeah.
Then there are guys like me and Kevin Sumlin who have been there and done that, but we love this, and we get some of our old buddies to come back, and it's like putting the band back together, right? And by the way, there's a bunch of rock bands that are still traveling. So basically, we're going to play our greatest hits and see if we can't give another kid or two a chance to chase their dreams.
What about the coaching itch, right? Is it about the game days? Is it about the week ofs? What is it? What is it that
there's a book written by a guy who coached up in the Pacific Northwest. I think it was Pacific Lutheran was the name of the school. His name was Frosty Westering.
Yeah.
And he wrote a book that was entitled "Make the Big Time Where You Are." And there's nothing more true than that. I've been at the Granddaddy. I've coached in the Rose Bowl, won it, right? Beat Drew Brees' Purdue Boilermakers.
Not bad.
I have been number 3 in the country, finished the season. I've been in a Cotton Bowl. I've been in a Fiesta Bowl. I've had those moments. I've coached in an NFL playoff game. Those are great moments, but this is as big time for me as any of that, because it's about these individual stories and these individual journeys that now these guys are going to get a chance. And as Frosty realized, and hopefully other coaches will realize, if you are where your feet are, you can have a great experience, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
I want to ask you about one of your sons, Jerry, who got the opportunity. He got real famous with that UCLA team.
Yeah, with one of Fresno's famous guys, Tim Skipper.
That's where I'm leading into. The experience of that, right, and the whole nature of that kind of run where they were going on with Skip and Jerry, right?
It was incredible, and with my dad goggles firmly affixed, CBS did that game.
Yeah.
The first game, the two of them were going to collaborate, and Tim gave Jerry the right to call the plays and all that stuff, was the Penn State game. And I think they were like a 24-point underdog. And so CBS had chosen the game because there's such a fan following for Penn State. The television numbers would be good, even though we didn't expect a competitive game. And so they asked me, I'm one of the studio guys, will you come on the broadcast and kind of talk through a drive and give us some anecdotal stuff of Jerry, because they didn't anticipate an exciting game at all.
Yeah.
They just wanted to try to spice it up a little bit. Well, the drive that I come on for turns out to be 17 plays, turns out to be the third touchdown that they scored in the first half. And I'm like, am I being punked?
Are they giving me the right game?
Is this really happening right now? And I have had to apologize to the Penn State fans for a long time, because I lost my journalistic, neutral. I was not Switzerland. I was all in on the Bruins that day, and it was one of those days dads remember.
Right.
It was monumental.
And that experience, of course, leading to Open Doors. Skip's now leading his own program at Poly. Your son's over at Northwestern, right?
He's at Northwestern with Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
And David Braun brought those two guys in, and David's excited about what the offense can be. So, talking to Jerry, it's as happy as I've heard him in a lot of years. And, that adage about it being a parent, you're only as happy as your least happy child. So all is well.
I want to ask you, because you've crossed paths with some of the Fresno State guys.
Pat Hill's one of my good buddies.
Right.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the Bulldog mentality,
when he gets, we go up to that Pebble Beach golf tournament all the time, right? Yeah. And Pat gets in there and starts with those rugby songs. He's one of a kind.
He absolutely is. And I just want to, when you think of Fresno State, you see the Bulldog logo, right? Some people maybe not know where that is or anything like that, but there's a tight-knit nature to that fan base. And
I can verify this. I was just at your bowl game.
Yeah, the Arizona Bowl.
I went to the Arizona Bowl.
Yeah.
I live in Phoenix, and my son, Jack, worked with Tucker Meyer, who's on the Fresno staff right now. And so we went up and watched Tucker and sat with Tucker's family, and I can tell you that being in amongst the Fresno State fans was a treat.
Right.
You talk about a loyal bunch of Bulldogs, and it was an impressive, especially defensive performance that day. And I walked away going, college football is just fine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that need to get fixed. But college football, maybe it's because it's idiot-proof, right? Because you put a bunch of young people out there that will love to compete, and you put them in a school where they're going to make all sorts of great friends, and they're going to have a relationship with their alma mater. Now we just need a way to want them to stay.
Yeah.
And to keep growing in those environments, because the soul of college football is the relationship between player and teammates and school.
Right.
And I just don't want it to be so transactional. But it was fun to watch the Bulldogs get after that. Was it the
they beat Miami?
Miami
Miami
the Red
Ohio.
Hawks.
Yeah.
Chuck Martin's team.
What's good about the Bulldogs, we've seen a lot of the guys stay. Coach Entz, Coach Matt Entz from the North Dakota State.
Well,
days.
he's from that tree of
Yeah.
the North Dakota guys, that
Yeah.
Bison. Yeah.
Yeah.
All you had to do is watch Game Day in Fargo, and you realize that that place loves college football.
Yeah. Bulldogs got a game against USC. We got to beat them at some point. I don't know. USC
One of the great games I ever watched was
the
Fresno State and USC with
iconic
Reggie
Bush run, right?
Yes. What was it, like 50-something? It
was crazy.
It was
I'm
incredibly high scoring.
I think it was Pinniger, quarterback.
I was coaching at Baltimore at the time.
Yeah.
I was coaching at Baltimore at the time, and as you know, 3 hours later there, right? And so the game came on night game.
Yeah.
So it was 1 a.m, and I was sitting there going, I can't sleep after that.
Locked in.
I can't sleep after that. That was an incredible game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I go back, Jim Sweeney.
Days.
I absolutely. He was the life of a party at all the Nike trips. Fresno State's got a rich tradition, and ought to be very, very proud of it.
Guys in the NFL, Devontae Adams.
Jeff Tedford speaks about it in reverent tones. It's a special place.
It's awesome, and think about
Kalen DeBoer speaks about it.
DeBoer too, right?
Yeah, Kalen and I have gotten to be friends. He had a wonderful experience there, so. Yeah, it's not lost on people that it's the soul of Fresno that comes out in that team.
Is there any? We're getting the Pac-12 now next year, and so the Pac-10. The Pac-10.
I cannot believe Allstate Insurance is not just taken up and said we're the sponsor, the title sponsor, given that every team in the league is a state.
Allstate, yeah.
It should be the Allstate Conference. I don't know who's missing out on that opportunity.
Is there any advice for Fresno State to take on the mantle of that conference now? You know the proud tradition of the Pac, and everything.
Here's what I love about the conference. As a matter of fact, I actually was involved for a bit with Washington State in their coaching search.
Yeah.
Everybody, to me, at least from outside looking in, looks similarly resourced.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be about a Texas Tech guy coming in there and buying teams, right? And that's not to knock what's going on in Lubbock. It's to say that this is going to be old-fashioned college football parity, like kind of a Big 12 situation.
Right.
Parity is going to exist, and now it's going to come down to coaching.
Right.
It's going to come down to coaching. It's going to come down to recruiting. And to me, that's exciting. And for all those fan bases, and I know CBS is going to have a relationship with that league.
Yeah,
I can't wait to be on the call in some of that action.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be good. And I'll tell you what, the Bulldogs are the team to watch. A lot of good talent coming back to that group. It's going to be
exciting talent. Exciting talent.
Hey,
keep your eye on that Meyer kid on that defensive staff.
Oh yeah. I gotta get with them during the off season. When they get spring ball rolling in about a month, I think, or something like that. Real quick about this game, huh? I got to ask every guest about this game coming up on Sunday. Seahawks, Patriots.
Yeah. I hope it's as good as the first time we saw them in the Super Bowl.
I saw something like last 10 times these teams have played, it's come down to the last possession. It's back all the way to the 90s and the 80s or something like that.
So, to me, both of them kind of lead with their defense. I think both the coaches are defensive-minded guys. And so it's not surprising. This, to me, given what we've seen, and I understand that Patriots have been aided by the weather defensively in each of their last two games. To me, they're going to need Drake May's legs to be the equalizer here, because I do think the right team is favored. The Darnold story is one that resonates
Incredible.
for me. The just perseverance.
Right.
I'm probably going to lean Seahawks, but if you tell me that Drake May is going to have 50 yards or more of rushing, I'm going to tell you that it'll be the Patriots again.
Is there something to, as Cam Newton walks by, is there something to just the second and third chances? These quarterbacks are starting to get a little more leap,
I think people are realizing we were ridiculous to be casting people off after just one chance.
Right.
I mean, we were saying bust or boom in literally 2 years, and it was ridiculous. First of all, they're coming from systems that are completely outside of what the NFL system is.
Right.
And if the NFL coach didn't have enough wisdom or know-how to adapt what this kid did to their system, then you were at the whim of the kid being strong enough mentally to adapt to what you're doing,
right,
and then hopefully have the pieces in place to have something. I can be a heck of a quarterback, but if I don't have a receiver that can get open, because here's the difference between college and professional football. People get open in both leagues. In the NFL, they don't stay open.
Yeah.
So if you're not from a system that anticipates, you're going to struggle unless you've got somebody unique or you've got time to watch somebody and understand anticipation. I remember being in the San Diego Charger. This is back when the Chargers were in San Diego, in the camp. And Mark Herman, remember the old quarterback from Purdue?
Yeah.
He was the backup to Fouts.
Mm-hmm.
So we're watching, and he let a ball go, and I'm like, where's he throwing that? I'm standing behind the drill, and all of a sudden, here comes the in, and he let it go, and he threw it to a landmark based on, the landmarks in college are different than in pro football. It just out 2 yards outside the hash, and the ball went over the linebacker level, and it fell right into Wes Joyner's hands. Right? And I'm like, okay, you got to talk me through that. He said, well, I saw the space where I know Joyner's going to be. I hit 7, and I stepped up once, and I just let it go. And I know Wes knows that's where it's going to be, so he takes care of his job, which is to shake the corner and be there by himself.
Yeah.
And that's anticipation. So here, I'm the young guy.
Yep.
I learned the throw, and now I've got it.
Right.
But if I don't have Mark Herman walking me through that, I don't learn that throw. I don't know that. Does everybody have a Mark Herman that's willing to share that throw? The coach never told me that throw.
No.
We look at it on film. We never talk that. This is all about how quickly you can assimilate the information and how it corresponds to the offense. I don't know how many coordinators Sam Darnold's already had.
Right.
But that's what we do. We throw these guys out, and their confidence gets so shaken. Now we're looking for the new guy because there's a newer, better version of it coming out of college the next year. I think the fact that college has had this revolution where people are staying longer has been good so that the Bo Nixes and the Michael Penixes of the world can come in and be ready to play at a higher level when they start. But you have to have time to assimilate all that sage wisdom that's out there. Brady, the fact that he got to sit behind Bledsoe a couple of years, and he's a savant learner, all lended to a guy that was 199th taken in the draft, being called the GOAT.
Great, that was great. Wonderful insight on the quarterback position, and I can't wait to see it all play out from your perspective in the UFL. Right?
It'll be a treat.
When's that coming up?
March 28th is our opening game. We got the Houston Gamblers coming to Dallas. We play them in Frisco and Toyota Stadium, so that's going to be a blast to be a part of that. Luis Perez, he's got more career yardage. He's on our roster as a quarterback. I drafted this kid Austin Reed that was at Western Kentucky, led all of college football in passing.
All right.
So we got a couple gunslingers. We're gonna see if we can't make it really fun for the fans that come out and support us in Dallas.
Well, that'll be great, Rick, and we look.
You're
forward
welcome
to
anytime, my friend.
Absolutely.
Season tickets.
Welcome on the show here as always in Fresno as well, ESPN Fresno. So, Rick,
what did Harry S. Truman call the Fresno folks? Some raisin fellas, right?
We got the
great to be with my raisin fellas. Yeah. Let me say this: I love the Central Valley, and you guys are fantastic fans. So keep that up.
Absolutely, Rick Neuheisel here on 1430. Appreciate it as always.
See you, my friend.
All right, we'll take a break. on 1430 ESPN Fresno. Good to be back. Good to be saying goodbye, though, to this wonderful city, San Francisco. Joe, can you get on mic? Because let's wrap it up. Let's put a bow on this, man. It's been fantastic. He's got to find a microphone. He's looking for a microphone. Where'd you put it? You're just gonna yell.
Somewhere around here.
It's somewhere around here. Whatever it is. Anyways,
Saying goodbye.
let's get you on.
Wonderful.
In terms of it, I'm hearing myself. I may have just accidentally left it. Or there we go. All right, I turned off my laptop sound. What a great host! You know what? We've heard the gripes at the beginning of the week. I think San Francisco redeemed itself a little bit in terms of tail end of the week. I know this city very well. I grew up in this area, and I have my own opinions on growing up in the Bay Area. But I think there's been an overall positivity to the city and the experience. Maybe the events itself might not have been as great as they were for the NFL, but I think overall I've had a really fun time.
No, it was a lot of fun. I mean, like you said, we've heard a lot from other people that have been doing this for a long time. The media parties and all that. Like apparently even the media party wasn't there. I mean, we had fun and we got to do our own thing for a little bit. It was fun still. But yeah, like you said, I think it did redeem itself. It was a lot of work. I can't stop saying that. It was so much work. But it was a lot of fun. Pretty stressful with all this live streaming stuff. I know we'll be way better next year for sure. So, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
We always end my show on Friday with the what are we watching this weekend? But I think it's pretty evident of what we're going to be watching this weekend, Joe, right?
Yeah.
You know, watching the Super Bowl? Huh?
Super Bowl's going to be going down.
You got a party? You're going to?
I honestly haven't even thought about that. That was not even something on my radar.
Has anybody hit you up, man?
Nobody's hit me up about any of that. So I'll just say that. But yeah, that wasn't even something I ranked like Super Bowl party. Like I was like, I just want to go home.
I just want to get through this, man. And we're good.
I probably got like 8 hours of sleep this whole week. So
that's not my fault at all.
Yeah. Phil's quite the snorer. So, but yeah, so I'm pretty wiped out. I wasn't even thinking about that, but I probably honestly.
You're just watching home, man.
That's probably what I'm gonna do. What are you gonna do?
I got a party. I got it set up.
Phil's famous. He's
it's friends, man.
His friends. I don't have friends like that.
Joe needs friends. If you want to be Joe's friend,
I play 2-player games. I play single.
If you want to be Joe's friend, you call him at 559.
That would be messed up.
Anyways, I can't wait, man. You're the last person. I don't think you've given us a prediction. Let's cap it off. What's your prediction for this game?
I'm gonna say we're doing a score too.
Yeah, why not?
I'm gonna say 28-24 Seattle.
So you're on. It's gonna reverse the reverse score of the last time these two teams played.
I'm gonna say that. Oh man,
I know he hates the Patriots. I know he's a hater.
Jorge, you talk about the Patriots. Yeah, they weren't destroying your childhood twice a year, every year for 20 years. So my football life is full of. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, exactly. I want you to hate the Seahawks, Jorge. That's all I want. You apparently don't hate the Seahawks.
And don't forget, Jorge, I'm a Mariner fan, so I don't entirely, I don't.
Yeah, he rides with the.
I get it.
First USC quarterback to ever start a Super Bowl.
That was pretty insane to hear.
Okay, all right. You
get it.
You wish it was in a different uniform, but
Still, you shouldn't be going for the guys that hate you guys in your own stadium.
Yeah. All right. We got FPU baseball next over on 790.
Is Jorge running that?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. We got FPU basketball tomorrow. We got Paul Metters show, Central Valley Sports Report tomorrow, 10 a.m. to noon. So be sure to tune into that. Trying to think of anything else really big. Oh yeah, hey, the game. Listen to it Sunday on 14:30. Kickoff at 3:30. Presentation of Westwood 1. Kevin Harlan on the call.
Go watch my interviews that I make.
Yeah, go to our YouTube. Joe worked really hard, and he'd be cry a lot if nobody looked at him.
It's not even like full of any. Like I'm gonna do more, but those are like the full things.
Great job, Joe.
Appreciate it. No, good job to you, dude. That was a lot.
It's a lot of fun. We'll see where. Yeah,
we did work for a 2-man crew.
2-man crew.
Let's go.
Unks on the loose.
Hey, everybody had a table full of people.
Unks out. We'll see you on Monday.
Latest. Cool beans. Let me turn these off because we're still live.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Appreciate y'all. See you, Jorge. See you, Chase.